Hello and welcome to another edition of Debatable here on GodIsAGeek.com. My name is Colm and today we're looking at episodic content. Along with video games, and arguably more so to be honest, television's leap in quality over the last 10 years has been massive. The Gogglebox has provided us with some incredible moments from some really deplorable characters week in, week out. However, taking a cue from the medium in which you hold a controller in your hands, TV is beginning to encourage an occasional binge. The Netflix model of providing the viewer with all of Frank Underwood's wrongdoings at once is the prime example of this. Just look how advanced he is! And while TV is beginning to mimic video games, it would be rude for games not to do the same, wouldn't it? This past week, Kentucky Route Zero Act 3 was released and it's already being praised by a number of publications, with GameSpot saying it's not a, quote, typical adventure game, it's an incredible one. The surreal world the cardboard computer started back in Act 1 has been fleshed out with every subsequent installment, and Episode 3 appears to be no different. It's quite astonishing then that it all began back in January of 2013. Hang on, this has been going on for a year and a half. Yeah, there or thereabouts. Episodic content released at irregular intervals. That's exactly what this is. Also, you're talking to yourself. What? How? Wonderful editing. Oh. I'm not here to judge the artistic merit of Kentucky Route Zero. At the IGF Awards, it received the Excellence in Visual Art nod, and rightfully so. It's a beautiful, almost hypnotic journey in a strange America. Rock Paper Shotgun gave it their Game of the Year based solely on the strength of the first 2 episodes. But there are 5 acts scheduled, and it's taken 16 months to release the first 3. This is why episodic content is still a broken system that needs to find its feet. But it's not like Cardboard Computer are the only developer that have kept people waiting, nor are they the only one putting their eggs in the TV-like format basket. In 1979, Automated Simulations released a number of mini-episodes for its Dungeon Quest game, while the Apogee Software developed Cross series from the late 80s is often credited as the first true episodic series. They released the first game as shareware, then offered future episodes at a discount when purchased in a bundle. Like what is known as a season pass to the video game playing public in this day and age. Nowadays, Telltale Games is considered to be the king, all thanks to a girl named Clementine and a guy named Lee. But it all began with the original Rust and Marty, true detectives Sam and Max. First season, Sam and Max Save the World, began in late 2006, and as you can see here, after the pilot, the regularity of releases is a joy. Their Back to the Future series was released with some consistency on the lead platform of PC too. Episode 1 was out in December 2010, Episode 2 out in February 2011, 3 in March, 4 in April and 5 in June. Some consistency anyway. But then you just look at their abysmal Jurassic Park effort that was originally scheduled to be out in April 2011, being pushed back to November of that year, and all 4 episodes being released at once. The Netflix model, I suppose, but I don't think that was the plan from day one. In 2014, the One Direction of adventure games have become one of the most celebrated storytellers out there, but still suffer from time to time. The Wolf Among Us players were left waiting for 4 months after the big cliffhanger at the end of the pilot, but received episode 3 2 months later. Season 1 of The Walking Dead was bi-monthly, but European PS3 owners were left to wait weeks after everyone else on almost every episode's arrival. Admittedly, there's no concrete evidence on whether this was Telltale or Sony's fault. Season 2 schedule is much more solid already, with 2.5 months between each episode, and episode 3 will be available in mere days. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 episode 1 had many fans of the Blue Blur very excited, as it was a return to the Mega Drive series that many loved in their formative years. But upon its release, we all realised the game was pure shite, as was the wait for episode 2. Almost 2 fucking years. The second entry into the series was complete bollocks as well. And that was that. The most famous example of tardiness is from Valve though. Yeah, I kind of have to bring it up. Half-Life. After 2004 saw what's regarded as one of the best games of all time in Half-Life 2, Gaben and Company brought us Half-Life 2 Episode 1, which, funnily enough, was renamed to that after being originally titled Half-Life 2 Aftermath because Valve was confident in the episodic method of distribution. A year later, Half-Life 2 Episode 2 was released, and once again, people were blown away with Gordon Freeman's crowbar-wielding adventure. Episode 3? Your guess is as good as mine, as Valve employees don't even comment on the existence of it anymore. If it ever does get formally announced, I'm sure the world will implode or something. At no point here am I questioning the quality of Kentucky Route Zero. After finishing Act 2 in the middle of last year, I was completely enthralled. I wanted more, but was willing to wait. Like a good episode of Game of Thrones, I was scouring the web for discussion and insight from fans. Theorising and speculating is fun, but there does come a time when one just loses interest and moves on. The episodic structure can definitely work, but schedules need to be worked out first. I really do think there is a place for this kind of method of distribution, but the fact of maybe one comes out today, another comes out in, 3 weeks, another comes out 3 months, that kind of shit just does not work. That's why the regularity of TV shows gives you something to look forward to. With this, you might be looking forward to the next episode, but you don't know when it's coming. And thus ends another edition of Debatable here on GodIsAGeek.com. If you disagree with anything I say, please let us know in the comment section of the YouTube video, the article, whatever. Tweet me. Because everything I say on this show, in the past shows, the future shows, this show, whatever, it's just my opinion and my opinion alone. And as always, it's